What is going on, everyone? Welcome to a special Junior's World of Soul. I am back with a new video. This video is going to be very special because I'm talking about the legendary George Michael. He passed yesterday, and I felt like it was only in my duty that I had to do a video. So I'm going to talk about his music and what his music did for me. So, you know, let's get this started. Yesterday was Christmas, and I had my family. My family came down from New Jersey, and they came down to stay with me. And one of my best friends, Alicia, had a Christmas party, and we all went over there, and we were eating and having a good time, and everything was fine. So we started to play a game. So we were playing the game, and I decided to take out my phone just to, you know, see what was social media going on, you know what I'm saying, see what's popping. And I looked, and I saw someone say, R.I.P. to George Michael. And at first I thought it was bull, because I was like, nah, I don't think so. But then I went to ABC News, and they confirmed it. And it was just like, I stopped everything that I was doing. It was like I literally stopped, and I yelled out, and I was like, y'all, George Michael just passed. And then everybody looked at me like, what? Are you serious? And I was like, yo, he passed. So me and one of my best friends, Alicia, we was like, yo, we gotta take a shot in dedication, because that's one of her favorite artists, and it's one of my favorite artists. So, and then she also saw that I was hurt. Like, she sort of hurt when I said it. So, you know, it was just like, whoa, this Christmas night is ending on a horrible note, because I'm like, everything was great, and then just to hear that George Michael passed, it like hurt. So, you know, the whole time it was like my mind was focusing on that, and then, you know, I was getting text messages from my brother Sincere and my brother Kill, and they was back and forth, and you know, they know how much, you know, George Michael's meant to me. So it was like, it was crazy. So, you know, I tried to get myself right, but I just couldn't help it. Like every other chance, I was sitting there kind of tearing, and we were playing the game, and like I would look on my phone every now and then and be like, yo, it's really crazy. Like George Michael is really up out of here. Like, I can't believe this. So I knew on the ride back home, I was like, Mom, we're gonna play George Michael because I have him on my phone. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm gonna connect my aux cable, and we're gonna jam to him on the way home. So we did. We jammed him on the way home. We was talking about it, and, you know, talking about, you know, everything that we knew about George Michael, and just reflecting on everything. And then when I got home, I was like, you know, after we all got undressed and was getting ready to just to chill out, you know, and because it was their last night here. And my grandma was like, I want to hear the song that he did with Aretha Franklin. And I was like, oh, you want to hear that? And I played this, and we just started jamming. And here is I Knew You Were Waiting For Me, and it goes a little something like this. Here we go. For me. It was a beautiful moment because it was like I was dancing, my mom was dancing, and my grandmother was dancing, and I wanted to capture it on Snapchat, but I didn't, and I was just like, forget it. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, it was a moment. We was all grooving, and it was a beautiful thing. So, you know, it was just to show that George Michael really, really, like, connected with all ages, and it was just a beautiful thing. So, in this video, you know, I'm going to talk about how I was introduced to him, and how his second album, Listen Without Prejudice, Volume 1, became a life-changing record for me. You know what I'm saying? It changed my life. After I heard it, my life was never the same. And in this video, I want to talk about it, and hopefully you guys have your cup ready to groove to some music, as I came in with my little red cup as always. And it might get a little emotional, you know, I might get really emotional in the video, but I feel like we're family already, so it really doesn't matter, and y'all know how music connects to me, so, and music connects to y'all, so y'all can understand the bond and the emotion that I'm probably going to get built up in this video. So I hope y'all prepared, and I hope y'all ready to go. So, here we go. So, Now y'all know I talk about my mom in all my videos. She's like my music teacher. I call her my music teacher because I know all my music because of her. She learned from my grandfather. My grandfather passed it to her, and then she passed it to me. But it's like she said to me maybe a couple of weeks ago, she was like, Junior, it's the way you really, really, really get into music. It's totally different from what I did. You know what I mean? So, you know, she kind of gave me the okay that I'm a little better than her. Yes, Ma, you gave me that. But, you know, she was the one that really put me onto all genres of music because my grandfather was really soul. That was really him. You know what I mean? But my mother explored and started learning new, you know, jazz and pop and country and different type of genres to be versatile. So it was one of our Friday nights where we're normally chilling, listening to music, and I guess my mom was on her 80s tip that night. And she played Madonna, she played Katrina and the Waves, she played Duran Duran, she played the Culture Club. Now, no, you know, I was grooving to it, but it really didn't catch my attention. But I'm knocking to it because I'm like, okay, Mom like it. I'm like, it's okay, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But then she put on this joint that gave me the Motown flavor. And I was like, what the heck is this? And it was this. So when I heard that, I was like, whoa, that joint just caught me off the break because one thing about Motown, like I told y'all in a couple of my videos, the hand claps get you. So I was like, whoa, that caught me for a loop. So then this is the words to the song. Wake me up before you go. Take me dancing tonight. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, Mom, who is that? And she was like, oh, that's Wham. She was like, that's George Michael. He's a bad, bad dude. Now, that name in my head, because, you know, music videos was definitely popular around that time. And I remember seeing that name, and I remember saying, wait a minute, this is the same guy that had the video with the burning black leather jacket in the video with all the supermodels in it. So I asked Mom, and she was like, oh yeah, I think so. I know what song you're talking about, but I think. So she proceeds to play Wham. So my mom knows I'm enjoying it. And one thing about my mom, when she knows I'm enjoying it, what she does is she continues to play the artist, and then she continues to tell me her history on it. And you know, that's how, and then she know I also start asking questions. I'm like, who's this, and what's this, and how they do this, and how was this made? So she enjoys that, so that's when she started putting me on the history of Wham. So then she started, you know, then she started playing like the hits from, you know, the Wham. Because I don't think my mom had the album. I think my mom had more of the singles, like the 45. She had those. So she started playing the singles. So she went and played this one. And this is a classic. And it goes a little something like this. Here we go. Yo, that joint is a classic, man. Everything She Wants. Yo, that is it felt like an R&B record, but it was a pop phenomenon for real. But it also crossed over. So, you know, Mom kept like giving me that, and she was like, yo, don't that sound good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm liking this. So then she was like, I got one more song. So she plays this, and this is like the classic Wham joint. And I think, you know, everybody, when I was on Twitter, this is the song that I saw everybody posting on Instagram, Snapchat, everybody was posting this song, and this is, I guess, everybody's go-to when it comes to George Michael, and here it is, and it goes something like this. So everybody kind of goes to that song, and that's Careless Whisper. And I remember, you know, my mother explained to me, when you see like the single or you watch the video, it will always say Wham featuring George Michael. So my mom kind of let me know that you kind of knew that they were kind of getting ready to let George Michael go solo, because it was already Wham. But how were you going to say this song featuring George Michael? It was just like, it was the tactics to get you ready to say, okay, yeah, he's about to go solo. So, you know, Mom kind of schooled me on that, and that was really my introduction to Wham. So it's crazy because I went to school singing, "Wake me up before you go, and I'm not planning on going solo." I'm going to school like it's a new record, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm learning these songs, and it was just crazy. So, you know, that was really, really my introduction to George Michael, because, you know, I didn't know him. I probably heard the songs, I probably saw the videos, but once I get a good introduction, which from my music teacher kind of put me on, and it caught my ear, it was like, oh, this is my formal introduction. Now, like I said, as a kid, I remember, you know, songs from the Faith album, like I said, like Faith and I Want Your Sex and Father Figure on, you know, the radio or music videos and things like that. But I really didn't hear the whole album in full. So about 2 weeks ago, you know, I just felt like I wanted to get on this George Michael kick. So I asked Mom about the Faith album, and I was like, "Mom, did we have the Faith album?" She said, "Hell yeah, we had the Faith album." And I was just like, she was like, well, I don't remember. I don't remember you playing it, so I never really remember hearing it in full. And my mom was like, "So you remember everything else we playing, but you don't remember me playing the Faith album." Like, Junior, I had that album. She was like, "I think you need to get your life together," because I definitely had that album, and that album was completely huge. So yes, I played it because it had that R&B vibe to it. So she was like, and then I liked George Michael, so she was like, I definitely had it. So I decided to listen to it, and the album was completely dope. And it was like some songs that was like, oh, it's like I vaguely heard it before, but it was like, oh, okay, cool. But I don't want to talk about that album just yet, because I want to take y'all on this musical journey on my introduction to George Michael. So, you know, I'm going to come back to it. You know what I'm saying? But I want to kind of take y'all on this journey, because on how I really was connected to his music. So when I got to college, when I was like, about 18, 19, I was discovering myself for the first time. You know, I was away from home. I was the only child, so I was so sheltered. So when I left home and I was in the dorm room, and I was like, I needed an album that definitely talked to me, that spoke to me during this time, because it was like I was feeling abandoned. It was just a lot of going, but it was self-discovery for me. So, you know, I just turned on the TV, and and it was on MTV actually, and they were playing the video by George Michael that I always paid attention to when I was a kid, and the video that I was telling y'all in the beginning on him burning the black jacket. So I started listening to it, and I was like, yo, this is the song, this is the video, oh my God. Mind you, I needed a song at this time, and it just happens that this video was playing, so it was for me to hear. So I'm like listening to these, and now I'm listening to the words of this song, because I'm just remembering freedom, freedom, but now I'm listening to the lyrics, and it's connecting to me in the experience of what I'm going through right now. And this was Freedom 90, and it goes a little something like this. I came in with it. Y'all gonna hear it about a couple of times, because it's one of my favorite songs ever, but it's it explains who I am today. And here's the part that really, really got me, and here we go. Goes a little something like this. All we have to do now is take these lies and make them true. Oh my God, that song is just so real, for real, for real. But so at the end, I saw that the song was called Freedom 90, and the album was called Listen Without Prejudice. So I was like, I gotta have this album, for real, because why would this song come on when I need it? And I'm like, if it's more songs like this, then it's definitely gonna help me for what I'm going through right now. And I'm telling y'all, I will never forget that day listening to Listen Without Prejudice, Volume 1, at 19 years old, and that, I was never the same after that album. That album changed my life forever. Forever. That album has become one of my 5 top albums ever. Now y'all know I love Mary J. Blige, the My Life album, Janice the Velvet Rope, Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, and Sam Cooke Live at the Copa. But this album, Listen Without Prejudice, is in there with all those, because all those albums define who JR really is. If you want to know who I really am and the music that really speaks for me, listen to those 5 albums, and this album by George Michael was life-changing, I'm telling y'all. So now with this album, I gotta give y'all each song, because it's 10 songs, and I'm gonna give y'all a sample of each, but I gotta give y'all a story behind it so y'all can understand how this album really touched me, and you know how nothing this album just it really gets me emotional because of the time I needed that album at that time. And I'm so glad that that day I turned on MTV and the Freedom video was on, and I finally saw the album that it was on, and I listened to that album, and my life was life-changing. So let's get into it. The first song is called Praying for Time, and it goes a little something like this. Give y'all, and then we can talk. Here we go. Woo! Getting all emotional already. Yeah. So when I heard this song hit home for me because this new college life, it was a new life for me. Like I said, I was so sheltered. I didn't know, I couldn't run home when I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I was in a different state. It was just completely different, and I just needed, and I think this song just told me that keep praying, and God's going to be with you, and don't you worry about it. Everything is going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? And that song was the first song, and it already got me because it was like, wow. This song is letting me know that I'm nervous of this new life, this new chapter in my life that I'm about to begin. And the only thing I need to do is I know how to pray, and praying will get me through it. And that song right there started it all, and I was like, wow. And that song hit home for me. So then y'all already know I did Freedom. Freedom speaks within itself. It's about self-discovery, learning yourself, knowing who you are, not being afraid to be who you are. And it's just a great self-discovery song, and that's why that song is in my top 5 songs of all time. All time. That song just explains me in a nutshell, because the clothes don't make the man. And you got to understand that a lot of people these days think just because you have the nice clothes and you all this and all that, that is who you are, and that's not really who you are. It's who you are inside, and that just a self-discovery record. So Freedom, track 2, amazing. Track 3, his cover of Stevie Wonder's They Won't Go Where I Go. And that song for me definitely really hit home with me, because then my mind started wondering. My mind started wondering, can I really do this? Is this college life really for me? You know what I'm saying? So it was like, wow. And at the end of the part where, you know, because this is a Stevie Wonder cover, so if you know about the Stevie Wonder cover, at the end, when he said, dang, gosh, no one can keep me from my own destiny, and the way he ended, it was just like, whoo, and it just started thinking in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm here for a reason. This devil is not going to make me try to run because I'm in uncomfortable situations. So this song, They Won't Go When I Go, amazing. And I'm going to play y'all the part that really spoke to me, like I said. And here we go. Whew. So I felt with that, I came to Capital College to get me a degree, and that's what I was going to get. And this devil was not going to try to say, you know, no, this ain't for you, you need to go. No. And that part right there was like, no, you're not going to take this away from me. I want this, and this is my destiny to have a college degree, and that's what I'm going to get. So that song, They Won't Go Where I Go, he did an amazing cover on it, and I know Stevie Wonder was probably proud when he heard it. So, the next one, track 4, Something to Say, is just JR. If you know me, you know I speak how I feel, and I don't apologize for it. I say what I feel, you know, and that's just me. And my mom taught me to say that, and that song, Something to Say, to Save, it just proves again that it's me, and that's who JR is. And here is Something to Say. And it's just an amazing joint. Oh my God. Whew. Come on, don't do me dirty music. Here we go.
If you got something to say, why don't you say it? If you got something to give, why don't you give it to me? Day after day, I have to say it. If we
You got something to say, why don't you save it? Right then and there, yo. Like, I was just like, yo, these songs were just so autobiographical for me. It was just crazy, because I'm like, he starts with Praying with Time, then he goes to Freedom, then They Won't Go Where I Go, and then he goes to Something to Say, Save. I'm like, yo, this album is me already. Like, just amazing. The next song, Cowboys and Angels, that song really takes you somewhere because of the music. And the music just takes you somewhere. And I felt like with this song, I love music. And I love to think when it's like a great, you know, maybe flute or saxophone solo or something. And it just takes me somewhere. So there's 2 parts of this song that I want to give y'all, because it's just the music that takes you away, and it's just amazing. So here's the first part of Cowboys and Angels, and just let the music take y'all away, man. And here we go. Whew, man.
Cowboys and angels all have time for you. Why should I
So that's the kind of the chorus. I wanted to give y'all the chorus to know about it, but this is the part where y'all, and I swear I wish I could play the whole thing on YouTube, because if I could, it would just, we can go somewhere together, for real, but here's the part that really, really does it for me on this record, and here we go. Oh my God, that's just amazing. Like, you just go somewhere. Like, he takes you somewhere with that saxophone solo. It's just like, that song like reminds me of like Lady Gaga's The Edge of Glory, and when Clarence Clemens is that saxophone part, it just takes you somewhere, and it feels like you're just on a cloud, and that part right there just made me feel like I was on a cloud. Like it was just like I was in George Michael's world, and I was just on a cloud just riding with him. You know what I mean? And that's what I really, really love about Cowboys and Angels. And come to find out, the song is really about loving someone that you really can't be with and you want to be with, but you can't. Because then, come to find out, the song Cowboys and Angels, he wrote it that he was in love with a guy, and it was this woman that was in love with him, but he couldn't tell either one of them. Crazy, man. It's crazy. Songwriting, amazing. Amazing. The next song, Waiting for That Day, caught me because of the James Brown sample of Funky Drummer. That caught me off the break. So when I heard it, I was just grooving like, oh, there go that Funky Drummer sample, because everybody has used it. But the way he used it was just amazing, and it gets me. And here's Waiting for That Day, and here we go. Love that, man. And you know what's really funny about this song was the fact that it had the James Brown sample, so it related to me so much more, because it was like this song, I was waiting for the day where I could walk that stage and look out at my family and they'd just be so proud of me walking that stage and getting my college degree. It was just, and then, you know, James Brown is a part of my childhood. Like, my grandparents loved James Brown. Like, you know, in a video, I think I told y'all, my grandmother and my grandmother was actually live at the Apollo in 1963. They were actually, like, there when that was recorded. They loved James Brown. And every James Brown, we had every James Brown album, every James Brown, you know, 45, everything. So this song, when I heard the beat, I already knew. I was like, that's Funky Drummer, that's James Brown. So the song connected with me so much more because I'm waiting for the day when my family can see me, you know, on stage, just walking the stage. And then with having this James Brown sample, it made it even more because James Brown is a part of my family. So it just made me connect with this song so much more because of the sample. But it's an amazing, amazing record. The next song, track 7, Mother's Pride. Mother's Pride, you know, I think this song was really about being drafted, kids being drafted and their mothers waving to them goodbye and don't know if they're going to see them anymore. But for me, I felt like with me going to college, this was like me being drafted because I'm a mama's boy, and I am not ashamed to say it. Me and my mom have such a close relationship. It's just, that's why, you know, I call her my music teacher because music brought us so close together in so many ways. And, you know, this song, you know, after listening to Wait for That Day, it's a mom's pride. I'm just like, you know, it made me start missing mom, but then it's like, I know my mom is realizing that I'm no longer a boy, and I'm taking the steps into becoming a man. And it's just like, it made me think about when she dropped me off on campus when they was about to leave, and then she waved at me bye and gave me a hug, and it was just, and that song kind of brought me back to the relationship that me and my mom had. So here's Mother's Pride, and it's a beautiful record again, and it goes a little something like this. Here we go. It's just like, to me, it seemed like, especially when George Michael hit those kind of notes, it really touches your heart, you know what I mean? So that really just made me like, I literally just like looked behind me, and I was just like, I felt like I was at that moment when my mom was waving at me and she was leaving and driving away, and it was just like, yo, this is this is it. This is Junior about to be on his own. You know what I mean? So it was just, this song just makes me just think about my mom in such a way where she knows she had to kind of let go the string, and it was just, and it just also just explains the relationship that me and her have. So that's one reason why I love Mother's Pride. So the next song is me gaining my independence. It's called Heal the Pain. Now, as much as I was becoming, becoming a man and being on my own and not having my family there, I was still missing them. I was still like, I wish I could run to my family if I feel like, things are getting tough, but I couldn't. So I needed a song to help me get through that. And I didn't need a slow song because I didn't feel like crying. I just felt this, I needed a song that was going to give me strength. And this song, Heal the Pain, definitely did. And it has like a little, it's a happy, upbeat song, but he's playing the hell out of guitar. But it still gave me that, like, I'm going to be all right. It was healing. And I love that he called the song Heal the Pain. And it goes a little something like this. And like I said, I think this song definitely gave me strength to gain that independence for being on campus. So here's Heal the Pain, and it goes a little something like this. Here we go. Go back a little. Here we go. For the day. Like, it's a happy, happy song. So it's not like a slow song when he's saying heal the pain and you going through all these emotions, you're crying out. No, it's a happy song. So even if you think you're starting to tear up because you're missing your family, I was just like, yo, this makes me feel good. It's like, all right, I'm going to be all right. It was just healing. It was just epic. The next song, speaking of independence, like I said, Soul Free was another independence record for me because it had that island groove and it kind of made you want to move. You know what I mean? It still had that little bump to it. And here's Soul Free, and I just love the island feel. Make you want to grind your hips a little bit. But here we go. Go back a little. Here we go. Since you come with me, then let my soul free. So I got that song for saying for me was Junior God is saying let everything go, let all the insecurities, let everything just be, and just give it to God, and everything will be all right. Just let your soul guide you. As long as you do that, you will be all right. And that's why I think this song was an independence record for me, and I liked it. I really liked it. You know what I mean? So that's Soul Free. And the last song is Waiting, the reprise. Now, you remember when people used to do reprise on the album? Like, they would do a song, and then they would just let the beat come in, and they would just, like, let the music, there would be no words. Like, anytime I think about a reprise, I think about Breathe Again on Toni Braxton's first album, where she, the song is Breathe Again, but then at the end, before Best Friend, it's a reprise, and you just hear her vocals, and you kind of just hear the music, and it's only lasts for like a minute or so, but then that's it. But the reprise, for me, like I said, it was just letting go all the insecurities, and everything will be alright. So here is Waiting.
That have held me down for so long. I can't say I found a cure for these, but at least I know them, so they're not so strong.
Love that joint. And like I said, when I finished this album, I felt like, do not let your insecurities hurt your future. And that's what I got from this album. And the album was life-changing. I was never the same anymore, y'all. I was never the same after I heard this record. Like, literally. Like, it was just a beautiful, beautiful record. So y'all know me. By the time you know, by the time, you know, I listened to the album, I listened to it a couple of times, then it was like, here, I gotta do my research on why this album was made. Where did this album come from? Why did he make this album? Where was he at when he made this album? So when I started doing my research, I was like, wow. He did this album. Now the video for Freedom, it made so much sense because he was trying to burn the image that he had with the Faith album. Because the Faith album, he wanted to leave the Wham, the pop, bubblegum, teen type of thing. He wanted to leave that, you know what I'm saying? So he created this image. And once he created the image, he didn't like the image after that. So when he came to Listen Without Prejudice, he wanted to, you know, script, you know, just forget about the image, just listen to the lyrics, listen to his songwriting, see what he's talking about, so you don't got to think about the image. You know what I'm saying? And then also Listen Without Prejudice came because, you know, George Michael Faith was huge. That album was completely huge. Like, he was bigger than Michael at one point. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up crossing into the R&B category, the R&B chart. Like, he hit #1. He's the first white artist to have a #1 album on the Billboard R&B chart. So, you know, at the AMAs, he won for Best R&B Album. And he got a lot of backlash for it because during that time, Don't Be Cruel came out. Bobby was killing it. He was all over the place. And, you know, you had a lot of artists like, wait a minute. You know, we got to be big mainstream just to get into these R&B categories for mainstream to notice us so we can get nominated with R&B. And you're going to tell me you're going to let somebody that already has the pop lane on lock get our R&B awards too? A lot of artists came out and felt that it wasn't fair. But one thing about George Michael was he always told us how he really was inspired by soul and R&B music. That was just him. Like, hello, if you listen to, you know, Wake Me Up Before You Go, like I said, that gives you that Motown feel. Everything She Want and Careless Whisper is definitely an R&B type of record. He, on the Wham Make It Big album, he covered the Isley Brothers, a record on the Isley Brothers. So, like, he was definitely influenced, and he let you know he was influenced by soul music. You know what I'm saying? But he was getting so much backlash from that Faith album that he wanted to be so far removed from that album that he was like, yo, if you see the album cover, it's completely, he's not on the album cover. He didn't do any videos. He didn't do nothing because he wanted you to listen to these songs and not think about that black leather jacket, him, you know, with his guitar shaking his ass in the video. He didn't want that. He like, listen to what I'm saying. And that's why the song Something to Say was definitely, you could definitely tell it was autobiographical for him because he was like, yo, I got something to say and I'm going to say it in my music. You know what I mean? So he really, with this album, he wanted to really remove himself. So that's why a lot of people say it's a little dark. It could be, but some, you know, in some songs it could have been dark. But I felt like this was really an artistic album, and it was amazing. And just doing research on it, seeing a documentary that he did, talking about songs like Waiting for That Day, when he showing you how he produced the record. Like, that whole thing was just amazing. But I am an artist. I am not an artist. I said I'm an artist. I am a fan of George Michael. So everything he did, I'm not going to say was absolutely great. Because in my opinion, I feel what this album could have been even bigger than Faith. But I felt like he did it wrong. You know, in my opinion. I understand what he was doing. He wanted you to listen to the album without any prejudice. Don't think about an image. Don't think about anything. But you got to gradually put people into the route that you want to take. And the person that I can definitely say is Pink. You know how she did her Misunderstood album. And it was mainly a rock type of record. But her first single was Get the Party Started. She's dancing in it because Pink came out as a pop artist. So she slowly brought you in, and then the next single was a rock joint. So I understood what George Michael was trying to do with Listen Without Prejudice, don't look at the image, don't look at anything. But what I think he should have done, like for the Freedom video, he should have been in it. He should have been in the video. And if he wanted to burn the jacket at the end, it could have been him standing there and him lighting and burning it on his own. So then we could have understood what he was trying to do and do interviews. He didn't do any interviews. He didn't do anything. And I'm like, you gotta tell us, we want to be more connected with you. So if you got songs talking about freedom and something to say and heal the pain and soul free, if you're talking about all these songs, maybe you should give us interviews on why. So then people can feel connected, because I feel like Freedom could have did so much better, because during this time you got dance music that was really slaying the charts. And this song could have really been it. And he could have made it like a complete anthem, and it would have been #1, like, you know, Praying for Time was, and you know, like Faith and I Want Your Sex was. This could have been an anthem, because if he would have did the video right, I'm telling you, this song would have been huge. But then after he started doing that, the label was like, we going to another artist, because clearly you're not getting it. You know what I mean? And he was trying to be an artist, but the record label was like, look, you're the biggest star in the world. You're coming to do your second album. Why would you sit up here and not do interviews? And why would you not put yourself in videos? It just didn't make any sense. And I just wish that it was thought out better, and his, you know, maybe him and the label could have got together and done something for this album to sell. Because when you got Faith that sold 25 million records, but you only got Listen Without Prejudice that sold 8, that was horrible. I mean, it's great now. I mean, it still was a success, but it didn't reach the heights of what Faith did. And I wanted this album to do that, and it didn't, and it really hurts me as a fan. And then after that, George Michael couldn't record for like 2, 3, 4 years. Like, he couldn't record any music, nothing. And then the new album didn't come out to 1996. So by then, your fans have moved on. It was just like, we were supposed to get a Listen Without Prejudice Volume 2, because that's why he put songs like Soul Free and Freedom on there to get us prepared, because it was going to be a more dance type of record, because we was expecting this album to be huge, but we never got a Volume 2. So a lot went wrong, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't be fair if I didn't say, yeah, everybody right now was just saying how great George Michael was, and he was great. But as a fan, I gotta be honest, I was really disappointed on everything about this era, because this album was amazing. It's timeless. These songs are timeless, like Praying for Time. With the times we going through right now, with who we getting as a new president and everything going on in this world, Freedom alone, that's an anthem within itself. Waiting for the Day, you know, Heal the Pain, Soul Free. These songs are timeless, and I just wish it would have, you know, everybody would have got to understand it just like they did the Faith album. Like, he wanted everybody to understand he was George Michael. Forget about Wham. And when you listen to Faith, you don't think about Wham. When you listen to the Listen Without Prejudice, you don't think about the Faith album. You don't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the only 2 songs that really could have fit the Faith album from the Listen Without Prejudice is Father Figure and I'm saying Kissing Fool. I think those songs could have fit. But other than that, you did not think about the Faith album when you listened to this album. So I'm like, a lot could have worked if he kind of would have did it right. But he didn't. But, you know, it is what it is. That's just my opinion as a fan of his, and as a great album as this was, I wish it would have got so much more love than it did. Because now when you see people, like I said, putting up stuff in his honor, the only thing people are putting up is the Faith album videos, and they're putting up Wham. Nobody's even putting up Listen Without Prejudice except Freedom, because all of the models was in it. Like, it just sucks that an album this great could have got more love if maybe George and the label would have got together and been like, look, this is what needs to be done. This is what I want to do. And somebody could have been the mediator and something would have worked and this album could have sold another 25 million. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah, I went on a tangent because I love that album so much, y'all. So I felt like those were kind of the cons, and I had, like I said, for me being a fan of his, I just got to be honest, and that was just my opinion. But to end the video, you know I cannot go without even doing a medley on the Fave album. Don't get me wrong. I finally listened to it myself, and it is a great album, and it took you away from him with Wham. And that was what he was trying to do, and it was just dope. You know what I'm saying? So here's a medley of the Fave album, and we're going to start with the title track. And it goes a little something like this. Here we go. Hold on. I want to get to the part where I can groove with it and get my drink and be vibing to the joint. Here we go. Have faith, faith. My boy JaiSlayer killed that joint, though. I'm gonna put that in the more info box so y'all can see him doing his the karaoke to the joint. He killed the joint. I had to throw that shout out to him, though. The next one, this is the song that I kind of remember the video a little bit, but I also kind of remember this being played on the radio, and it's a dope joint. I mean, hey, he was definitely wanting to leave that Wham situation, and he definitely did it with this song right here. And here we go. It goes a little something like this. Go back a little. Here we go. Just sex. Ha! I was like, oh, all right. But I remember that joint because that joint was huge. That joint was huge. One of the songs that I think everybody, this was the first kind of song that I was seeing everybody on Twitter and you know, Instagram and all that actually put up this song. And, you know, my best friend Alicia, she sent me this song this morning. It was like, yo, George Michael was just my dude. And I was like, yo, I'm doing a video, don't you worry, I'm talking about it. But this was her song, and this song is dope as just as well. And here we go. I ain't even gonna give y'all the names because y'all, when it comes on, you definitely should know it. Here we go. That actually kind of gave me a Prince feel to it, for real. But that's Father Figure. The next one, One More Try. I did not know this was a big record, for real. This was #1. Again, that's what I'm saying. This album, Faith, 6 #1s off one album, yo. Like, this was the time when he was bigger than Prince, bigger than Michael. He was the biggest artist in the world. Like, he could not be touched. But here's One More Try. Yeah, come on. Yeah, man. I told you, every time he hits those notes, it's just so soulful. Like, the soul is in him, and he can't help it. You know what I mean? So that's One More Try. The next one is he got help from one of my favorite producers of all time, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And here is Monkey, and it goes a little something like this. I love it. That beat is sick. Here we go. Yeah, it's so 80s. It's like so 80s. That joint was so 80s. Like, it's so dope. But that's Monkey. It just makes you want to groove a little bit. Hey, come on. Ha. Love that joint. And the last one is actually my favorite song on this album. Y'all know I love emotion, a song that gives me emotion. Like I said, this song could have also been on Listen Without Prejudice. This joint could have been on there. It's called Kissin' Fool. Such a dope record. And I just love just the music of it. Oh, it's just amazing. But here we go. Like, it's just so smooth, man. And one thing about this song, you give me a bridge, you give me a good bridge, I'm on it. I'm on it. But I love this joint, for real, for real. But, y'all, I definitely recommend y'all both listen to The Faith and listen to Listen Without Prejudice, Volume 1. I definitely recommend it. Or even go back and listen to the Wham, Make It Big. You know, they had an album before that came out just in the UK, and then, you know, I guess Make It Big was kind of their first commercial joint, but then they came out with an album in '82 that had Wham's rap on it, so, you know, George Michael was rapping, you know what I'm saying? He was just a complete great artist. But for me, I wanted to talk about the times where he, you know, was introduced to my life, and really how his Listen Without Prejudice really changed my life at 19. And, you know, it's so sad that he passed, and he was such an amazing artist. And it's just, you know, it really just hit me, yo. Like, I really was trying to hold back tears on my ride home. And, you know, thank God I had my mom and my grandma, because it was just like, it hurts, you know what I mean? And, you know, it was like when my brothers hit me and they was like, yo, we doing a podcast on it, and they was like, yo, no, everything is okay. And I was like, y'all, I was actually in my bathroom, and I was just sitting there, and I was just crying, because I could not believe that an artist that really inspired me and became such an inspiration and helped me through times when I needed, is no longer here. And he was so young. He was so young. He was only 53. And what really bothers me and what pisses me the hell off is just because the man being gay, the first thing everybody thought it was AIDS or HIV. Please stop being ignorant. Please stop being ignorant with that. With the tweets that I see and the things that I see on social media, people can be so damn evil. That's not it. Just because somebody is gay does not mean they're going to die of AIDS or HIV. Stop with the ignorance. It was so damn stupid, and it pissed me off. And I said in this video, I'm definitely going to address that, because that's dumb. Please get your mind and go educate yourself. Because people on Twitter and Instagram is looking real stupid when they say stupid shit like that. And I'm sorry, y'all, because it bothers me, because AIDS and HIV hits home for me. So when somebody is so quick to say that somebody's gay, the first thing you want to say is that they had AIDS, please shut up and get your mind together. Because it's really annoying how ignorant people can really be. No, he didn't. He just had heart failure. It can happen to anybody, gay, straight, whatever. And he spoke in his music about everybody being together. Listen Without Prejudice. That's why I recommend you guys listen to that album and wake up. Please. Please. And for all of that, George Michael, I definitely want to thank you for definitely inspiring me, being an inspiration to me. Your music was there when I needed it. And I definitely felt like I had to do this video, and I'm trying to hold back the tears here, but I really appreciate it, and I know you up there, and now y'all have a beautiful choir up there now, man. Y'all up there with Whitney and all that, and I really appreciate it. Your music will live on, and I'm actually gonna go out with the song that I said connected George Michael and my family together because of the sample that he used. And I'm going to go out to Waiting for That Day. And here we go. Woo! Come back, come back, come back. R.I.P. George Michael, we love you. Peace out, y'all.